Hello, my name is Daisy Gutierrez and I am here with another YouTube video. Today I'm going to talk about finding your identity after having a kid, after having a baby, how that feels. Let's get into it. I took some notes. For some context, I have a 2.5-year-old. I gave birth in September of 2023 and you can check my last video was my birth video, the story about when I gave birth and I was in labor for 60 hours. Now this video I want to talk about keeping your identity after having kids. I have some notes here. It's everything about motherhood I think comes with challenges, or parenthood, right? It's really beautiful, but at the same time it's really hard. So if I struggle to say some things, it's also because I'm still 2.5 years later, I'm still figuring out my identity and who I am besides a mother. I have a lot of support. I have my partner and my parents that support me. However, it's something super internal as a birth giver. Honestly, for my experience as a birth giver, birth really wiped my brain clean, if that makes sense. Like everything I cared about changed, everything I liked changed, and now I'm trying to figure out, what do I care about? What do I like? This is not gonna be bullet point. I'm just gonna talk. When I gave birth, it felt like my brain, or what's the part of your brain that keeps all your memories? Is it your hippocampus? I don't know what it is. I don't know what happens there when you give birth. I felt like my memory card was wiped clean. Everything I liked, cared about, literally everything was wiped clean. And it was such a mental glitch, it felt like. So after I had my baby, I'm out in the world. Things I enjoy doing just don't hit the same. That honestly felt very odd to me, and it contributed to some of my postpartum anxiety and depression and rage. I had all three of them. And the way I would describe this to folks who haven't had kids, I would say, imagine getting abducted by aliens and then getting dropped back off, and then everything you knew is not what you thought you knew. That's how it felt. It is such a surreal feeling, and I still kind of feel like this now. I do have more of an understanding of the things I like. However, the things how I react to things, or the things I care about, way different than before, if that makes sense. Like my reactions, and not that I don't even know how to explain it. Whatever. Everything was wiped clean. Everything felt foreign. And everything kind of still does feel foreign. My next thing that I wrote here is, the birth of my child was the first day I started rebuilding myself. And for 9 months, I was just morphing into this new me. And at the same time, this woman that I had not met before. I got pregnant when I was 23 and I gave birth when I was 24. So not only was I rebirthed as a mother in my early 20s, mid-20s, I was also, that's the part of when people don't have kids. 23, 24, 25 is when you're morphing into this older, young adult. So not only was I morphing into womanhood, also into motherhood at the same time. So that's still pretty fun to balance. And I still feel that even now, because when you're 26, your frontal cortex, your frontal lobe is fully developed. Once I turned 26, I felt this weird oh wait, that just happened. I had a kid at 24, now he's 2. Okay, I started giving myself more credit 2 years after my birth, what I had gone through. Now I'm 27, I'm freshly 27, but at 26, I think I started giving myself more credit as to your birth was hard, given life is hard in general, not only physically, but raising a baby, even though you have a support system is still really hard on your emotional and mental muscles. Also, my relationships changed. When I gave birth, my relationship with my partner completely changed and struggled for like a year. My relationship with my parents changed. Everybody, my best friend, my other friends, like literally I was a brand new person. So I had to almost re-meet everybody again. Once I had my child though, after 9 months, I got the courage to start venturing out again. So since pregnancy up until birth in September 2023, I was feeling a little bit ugly. I don't know if that's the right word. Honestly, I think it is the right word. I was feeling really ugly. My spark was gone. Not only physically ugly, like I just felt uncomfortable. I didn't know foreign. This is the part where I was abducted by aliens, and I was like, where am I? Who am I? What's happening? My body is growing. You grow a kid in your abdomen. That's surreal. Think about it. You really just feel so different. And then when my kid was born, I felt postpartum rage, anxiety, depression, resentment towards a lot of people, especially my partner and my mom. All my like traumas came up. So it was a completely rebirth of who I thought I was. When 9 months after that, 9 months after my birth, I started, the first step, I think I started feeling beautiful again. That whole year, I was so busy in my feelings that like I didn't notice that my hair had grown out a lot, and I loved that. I didn't know until one day my cousin had asked me to go out with her to like a party, and so I got all done up and stuff. And even her, when I was getting ready, even she was like, wait, when did you become a woman? Like you just look so different. Literally, it's such a surreal feeling. But 9 months after I gave birth, I started feeling cute and sexy and flirty with myself again. Another thing that really influenced like who am I was that right before I got pregnant, I had quit this job that I really loved, but I just couldn't really handle it. It demanded a lot of me at the time, and I just kind of like crashed and burnt out. And so I said, you know what, I need to step away and take some time. And then I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, okay, so I need a new job. And so I started working for something I wasn't really passionate about. So throughout my pregnancy and also after birth, my work wasn't really meaningful to me. And so even after 9 months, after my child was born, 9 months after, when I started feeling flirty and fun, then I was like, you know what, I'm able to then now transition or look for a job that I like, that brings me passion. And that's when I started looking for work that meant a lot to me. I got a job, and that job honestly brought so much joy to me. It brought so much fulfillment. And for a second there, I felt very good. So eventually I left that job because it did take a lot of me. It was a role in like a shelter, working with people who are houseless at the time. It was just took a lot, like it was a lot of my heart that went into that role, plus a lot of my heart that was obviously even now goes into my child. So I made the decision to then transition out and to another role, which is my current role, which is also to do with thinking social, thinking for the future, thinking nonprofit. Talking about all this, it happens so fast, but also feels so slow. And I'm telling you my career stuff because when I gave birth, a big part of like something I was really sure of is that I wanted to keep my job. I wanted to keep my career, because work is honestly, family and work are like almost close next to each other for me. I need to have meaningful, amazing work, amazing to me. as much as I want my family to be healthy and happy and have their needs met. So my child went to daycare, is at daycare. It's at daycare right now, so I'm able to film. My relationship with my partner changed for the better. I feel like very stable with him. But now 2.5 years later, I feel whole. However, I think I'm still finding myself in my identity. What do I like? I recently started doing physical training, trying to get, you know, fit and stuff. I do love doing that. Whenever I go to my class, I feel really energized after. So the next thing I want to try is going to a dance class. It gets better. I'm figuring out my identity still. Who am I? What do I like? For sure, I have some things down. Like, I love to dance, I think, but I don't like alcohol. I love seafood. I love to spend time with my family. I also need breaks from my family. I love myself. I love my body, my face, my inner soul. I love myself. I like myself. And I think since pregnancy, like for those 9 months of being pregnant, and then like 9 months of pregnancy and like 9 months or like a year after birth, I didn't like myself and I felt really uncomfortable in my body. But we like ourselves again now here. And also, I'm excited for who I'm gonna be now that I'm 27 too. Like, baby, I'm a woman now, okay? So what is it that we like? What is it that we want to do? I feel good. I feel really sure of myself too. But it took 2.5 years to feel like this. And even though I feel sure of myself, I do still question myself. And I do have anxiety probably every day. I just have to like take the time to breathe, chill out, right? I talk to my partner a lot. And then I continue and I feel good. And exercising does help all of that. Like, exercising helps me ground myself. I do want to say too, I think as humans, the more as we continue to grow, there's always going to be something like wrong or something that we don't like. So I like being conscious of that too, because this is it. Like, this is life. You know, it's not that 10 years from now I'm gonna have everything figured out and have no problems. I think that's a lie. I think you are giving what's right in front of you, and you need to figure out, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I don't want? And how do we make that happen? I hope this video made sense. I'm gonna edit this. I feel like I was all over the place. If anyone who's watching this who have kids or who is a woman in their 20s, I hope some of these things resonated with you. You are not alone feeling lost, confused, weird. I think it's part of life, especially when something big happens in your life, whether it's kids or you're moving to a new state, like something drastic. You will always find yourself again in different scenarios in life. Thank you for watching. If you made it till the end, thank you. Subscribe if you want. I hope this resonated with you. Bye.